Cleveland. If Greater Cleveland's leaders can find $70 million in tax revenue to remodel an arena, they can find enough to save the lives of at-risk children. The controversial renovation plan for Quicken Loans Arena poses the biggest test yet of this community's priorities. With the people in power having made the arena makeover one of their highest priorities, we'll soon find out if they are prepared to make the most important investment any community can make in its future. History advises caution, but some early signs are encouraging. Among elected, corporate and civic leaders, there is a growing commitment to break the four-generation cycle of poverty that so weighs down Cleveland and large segments of the inner ring suburbs, places where an astonishing number of children are born into circumstances that make success in life borderline impossible. Why should so many of Cleveland's children face lives of hardship solely because of where they are born? The answer is they shouldn't. And through a Greater Cleveland, we hope you will work with us to make sure they don't. And of all the worthy ventures underway to address these problems, one stands above all others in its potential to offer game-changing rewards. Without that investment, most or all the other child-related ventures will underachieve. That's why a permanent funding stream for quality preschool should be the #1 priority for Cuyahoga County's public-private partnership. A growing body of scientific research on the development of a child's brain has documented how poverty, stress, neglect and abuse hinder emotional and intellectual growth. The evidence is overwhelming that brains are built by early experience. Shannon Jones, executive director of the child advocacy group Groundwork Ohio, told the Ohio Senate Finance Committee in June, "Kids who start behind often stay behind. Quality preschool, coupled with parental counseling when necessary, offers the only realistic hope of changing that." And communities with high concentrations of poverty that ignore the evidence will find it increasingly difficult to survive. There's a simple reason cities and states across the country are pouring money into quality preschool. It works. Of all the studies that track how preschool changes the lives of most poor children, the gold standard is the Perry Preschool Study. That study compared 64 poor black children who attended quality preschools in the 1960s with 64 who did not. At age 40, the Perry study found adults with preschool experience had higher IQs, earned far more money, committed far fewer crimes and were more likely to hold a good job. What's more, spending on early childhood is an efficient use of tax money. Investing millions now will save millions later in various social and welfare costs. Nobel laureate economist James Heckman has estimated quality preschool yields an annual return of about 13%. Thoughtful leaders throughout Greater Cleveland are figuring this out. And this local commitment stands in stark contrast to the shamefully inadequate support for preschool funding from the administration of Gov. John Kasich and the Ohio legislature. Whenever Ohio legislators find themselves in a budget bind, they invariably take it out on the state's most vulnerable and precious assets, the ones too young to vote, writes Brent Larkin. Fortunately, an additional $10 million commitment from the county and nearly $13 million in corporate and philanthropic funding will allow for a doubling of the number of quality preschool slots for needy children available in this school year. In the private sector, the undisputed local champion of this cause is Paul Clark, regional president of PNC Bank. Clark recently led a fundraising effort that collected $13 million in corporate and private donations in just 72 days. "It's been proven time and time again that this works," said Clark, adding that the need for money to continue expanding the program is critical. He's right. And the reasons why can be found in the groundbreaking research on this subject being done by the Center on Urban Policy and Community Development at Case Western Reserve University. Funding exists to provide quality preschool to 4,642 low-income children this school year. Eligibility for family scholarships is targeted to 3, 4 and 5-year-olds not yet in kindergarten from households with an income at no more than 300% of the federal poverty level. That 4,642 figure represents a remarkable increase. But it's not nearly enough. CWRU estimates 22,543 children in Cuyahoga County meet that scholarship eligibility requirement. A bit less than half, 10,177, live in Cleveland. With a state government that cares more about tax cuts for its wealthy citizens than it does about preschool for its poorest, Cuyahoga County needs a modest stream of new tax revenue to offer preschool to all those 22,543 children. Towards that end, private discussions are already underway.